everybody, how's it going? This is Darren with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson. And today I've got another lesson for all the beginners out there. The other day we did one that was riffs that are just played on a single string. And so now we're going to kick it up a notch and we're going to play some riffs that are played on multiple strings, but they're just single note riffs. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs and let's get close up and take a look. Alright, so the first one we're going to look at is the riff for Beat It by Michael Jackson. So this one, we start off with the low E string open, and then we're going to go to the 3rd fret with the low E. I'm going to use my second finger, to the 2nd fret of the A string, and then the G string open, and then to the 2nd fret of the D string. So. Okay, so after we hit that 2nd fret of the D string, we're going to do a hammer-on from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret. But we don't want... So if you notice that 2 on your transcription, this is on the 2nd measure, that we've got that little ghost note there, so it's just going to be... So you pick, and instead of being like... You pick and like hammer simultaneous almost. So it's... And then back to the 2nd fret, and then the D string open twice, and then there's a rest. So that's like the first half of the riff. Alright, so the second half starts off the same way. So they open to the low E, to the 3rd fret, to the 2nd fret of the A string, G string open, to the 2nd fret of the D string, that same hammer-on, and then back to the 2nd fret, and then open. So basically the difference between the first and second time is that last D string. On the first time you play it twice, and on the second time you play it once. So the whole riff slowly. Alright, and then next we're going to look at Heartbreaker by Led Zeppelin. So this, start off, we're on the 3rd fret of the low E. I'm going to use my 3rd finger, and so you rest on the first 3 beats. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you start this is a quarter note on the downbeat of 4. And you're going to do just a slight bend, a quarter step bend. Then we go to the A string open, to the 3rd fret, to the D string open, to the 1st fret of the D string, 2nd fret of the D string, and then back to the 3rd fret of the low E with that little bend. So we've got... And then starting on the next measure, we have the A string played open 4 times, but it's 16th notes, so it's like 1 and then we go to the 3rd fret of the A string for a quarter note for beat 2. So 1 and 2, and then we do that same open D string to the 1st fret, to the 2nd fret, and then to the 3rd fret of the low E with a little bit of a bend on there. So that's like the first half of the riff. So. And it repeats. Alright, so then for the second half, we're going to do the same thing. We're just moving it up a whole step. So now we're going to start on the 2nd fret of the A string, to the 5th, to the 2nd fret of the D string, to the 3rd fret, to the 4th fret, and then to the 5th fret of the A string with that little bit of a bend. So. Alright, so that's the first measure of the second part, so that's measure 9. And then the next part, we're going to start on the 2nd fret, and we're going to do those 4 16th notes to the 5th fret. This is all in the A string. And then that 2, 3, 4 to the 5th fret of the low E again. So. And then it just goes back into the first part again. So the whole thing. Alright, and then finally we have the main riff from Crossroads Blues, Eric Clapton's version. So we're going to start off with the A string open, and then we're going to go to the 2nd fret of the G string, then the G string open, and then back to the 2nd fret. So we've got, these are 8th notes. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 E, and so that second time we go back there to that 2nd fret of the G string, it's an 8th note tied to a 16th note, so it rings out just a little bit longer than the first ones. And then we've got the G string open, hammer onto the 2nd fret, and a pull off, and then to the 3rd fret of the A string with just a little bit of a bend, quarter step, and then it just starts over again. So we got so there you have it, 3 beginner riffs that are just single note riffs, but they're played on multiple strings. So this, like I said, this is just a, we're kicking it up a notch from that previous lesson. So these are all cool riffs, stuff that, that's highly recognizable, and it just can kind of help you to get playing something a little bit cooler right out of the gate if you're fairly new. All right, so if you like this lesson, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this or other guitar-related topics. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.